So let me start off by saying I am definitely into practicality when it comes to apparel. So I like to have pants that you can have a belt on. I like to have extra pockets and all that stuff. So I decided I was going to get a boot that you just had to zip up instead of tie like you normally would. Now, for reference, this is a type of slip-on I like to wear. It's nice and easy to put on. Just a quick couple seconds, and bam, have footwear. So I kind of expected something similar from this type of boot. So open it up, and it obviously had all the fillings and all the garbage that they shove into the boot. But you have this, and at first I'm thinking, wow, that's a nice looking boot. So if I were into fashion, which I could honestly care less about, I'd be pretty impressed by this. The shoes look like they have kind of a nice polish at the tip, which is pretty good. Then it has these things right here, these buckles, right? So you'd think, okay, well, maybe it has some more adjustability to it, right? I put it on, and I was quite pleased when putting it on. You slide it on, and it fits quite nicely. And then you zip it up. But then you run into this product's biggest flaw, and you can probably see it right now. The amount of clearance. Because the boot is at an awkward height where it's basically at the thinnest part of where your calf would be. Now, obviously people's feet and legs are going to be different, so it just depends on what you're like. But for me, 3 fingers worth of clearance between the back of my calf and the top of the boot. That can be pretty detrimental. And I saw this was for motorcyclists. I hope they wouldn't wear a boot like this, because you don't want to have a bunch of blisters on the back of your heel. Now, I have some calluses, so I wouldn't really have to worry about that. But at the same time, that does take away from its practicality. And then I was like, okay, well, maybe I can just adjust it with these buckles. So I'm not sure how well you're able to see it, but you'll notice this doesn't actually adjust. You think it would. You pull on this, and then you look at how contorted and jacked up the leather looks when you do that, and it doesn't even have any more notches. Now, it's not too hard to make a notch in a belt like this, but the fact that it's not actually adjustable is really the biggest detriment to this style of boot. So put that back on. So I'm thinking, well, what about the one at the bottom? So I tried to adjust that to the tightest it would go, and there are only 3 notches. But if I were to go as tight as it would fit comfortably on my foot, that is way more than any of these notches would allow. So, once again, pretty big problem there. It's easy to take on and take off, but I feel as though if you were on a motorcycle, let's just say, you're at a higher risk for the boot just coming off. Because it's zipped up, and I'm still able to, kind of wedge my foot out of there. So I take the boot off, and you can see on the inside, it may be hard because of the lighting. I'll try to get a good angle. You look on the inside, and it looks like there's stitching, so it looks like they stitched the sole in, but not really. They didn't stitch it in. It comes right off the boot base, right off the sole, which is also not very comfortable, because anytime you take the boot off, you almost rip the sole out of the boot. That's it for that one, though. So to put the size into perspective, this is a size 11 tennis shoe, and this is the size 9 boot. Now I'll try to line these up so that you can see them. But they're pretty much the same size, so that's where I have another problem. The sizing of boots. It's very different from tennis shoes, although I kind of expected that coming into this because of the boot that I actually do like to wear. Have these dusty boots over to the side. These are the ones I prefer to wear. These are from Belleville. These ones are pretty alright. I got it when I was in boot camp, but same size. It's a size 9 boot, even though I don't wear that for tennis shoes. But what I like about this, and I think where Polar Fox could take some pointers on this one, even though, you know, this is a lace-up, when you pull on the lace nice and tight, you'll notice that the sides come together, and you can see there's almost no clearance in between, so it's a very sturdy boot to wear. So, in my humble opinion, I don't think these are a very practical boot to get, the Polar Foxes. But a design correction I would probably implement. You'll notice with this, it's like a very sturdy, not very pliable, you know, kind of leather, so if you were to bunch it up, it'd look really bad. Whereas this one, they have a layer of thin leather, right? So they could have something kind of like that, where for this, they could make it closer together and just have like a leather tongue right here in the center. That way when you zip it up, it's actually tight in there. You don't have, you know, more than an inch worth of clearance in the back of the foot, which can, you know, cause blisters and other problems. So that's it for this review. I hope you found some use out of it. Thank you. Bye.
Well, these boots are my favorite, but this batch, this is my second time buying these. Look at this one. It's not barely a year. It's already coming off, getting my feet wet. Both sides. Not the left side. The left side is fine.